Welcome back. We are here for Top Cut. I'm Dennis Geisler. That, of course, is Fuecoco. Very excited. We're getting into Top Cut here. Quarterfinals, Junxi and Kim Gomez we have here for you for our quarterfinal round. For our Premier Challenge, Gym Challenge. We'll be back here tomorrow for our MSS. Be sure to be here. Kim Gomez, we've not seen her at all today. Ogre Pond, Wellspring, Raging Bolt, and Amorous Therian, Landorus Incarnate, Giraffe, and Rillaboom. Junxi, as we saw earlier, Amoonguss, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Porygon 2, Landorus Incarnate, Incineroar, and Golden Go. the arcade machine being used in the back. Gotten a lot of use out of the arcade machine today. An Amorous Therian, not seen a lot of that. Overcoat for the ability, because it has to. Terra Fire, Assault Vest, Springtide Storm, Moonblast, Earth Power, and Mystical Fire. Trick Room able to be set up by Giraffe to allow an Amorous to get going. Giraffe with the Throat Spray, as you can see. Trick Room, Hyper Voice, Protect, Psychic. As we noted earlier, most of the players who got to 3 and 2 made it through. In fact, only one did not for Top Cut. So a lot of interesting matchups we could see here. See what Kim decides to lock in here. Only 10 seconds left. And we'll get moving now. Quarterfinals, Top Cut. Much on the line. Championship points even. And we'll get underway. Alright. Kim Gomez, Junxi Zhu. Junxi's lead is going to be Amoonguss and Incineroar, very bulky, very supportive. Kim with the Giraffe and the Landorus. That will block the Fake Out. Will most likely discourage a Trick Room from Kim. This Landorus is Sandsear Storm, Protect, Earth Power, Sandsear Storm, Sludge Bomb, so it doesn't have Substitute. Should be really nice into this matchup here, but is not what we'll see. They do good damage to both these Pokemon, but Amoonguss would be able to get a Spore up fairly comfortably. Be pretty annoying to deal with, all things considered, as it dances from side to side. Amoonguss does kind of have the move. It's absolutely true. Do the choices from Junxi. We'll see an immediate Terrastal from Junxi, in fact. Most likely Terra Water Amoonguss? No, it's going to be the Incineroar or Terra Grass. I mean, it takes a ground move better, but takes a poison move worse. See if Kim reads that. Gonna be the Terrastal on Kim's side as well. It will be Giraffe to Terra Fairy. Not going to change all that much, it just means it's a Fairy type now. Landorus will go for the Sandsear Storm. Do good damage to the Amoonguss, solid damage to the Incineroar. Incineroar parting shot out into the Landorus, dropping the special attack. Let's see, can the Giraffe finish off the Amoonguss here? That could be pretty crucial. We'll get a hit off, that's for sure. And we'll see the Golden Go switching in here. Giraffe will use the Psychic into the Amoonguss. Super effective hit. Should be enough. Yeah, does take out the Amoonguss. So no Spore to have to contend with, thankfully for Kim. Golden Go in now, but Landorus might feel reasonably comfortable just using another Sandsear Storm or another or an Earth Power here to try to deal with that Golden Go, even with the dropped special attack. Incineroar comes back in, might be able to cycle it once more. But if you're Kim, you have to feel pretty comfortable with the spot you're in. This is a citrus berry Incineroar, as you can have probably seen by the parting shot. It was not, it was definitely not Assault Vest. Don't know how hard Sandseer Storm would hit Golden Go. That's a pretty critical part of this matchup here. Getting rid of Incineroar could certainly help as well. See the lock-ins. Golden Go will protect. Stall out this turn. Fine for Kim, all things considered. Sandseer Storm connects onto the Incineroar. Does a bit of damage. Just a chunk. Well, parting shot once again into the Landorus. That means it's a -2 special attack, but at that point, Landorus might feel comfortable switching out. At the same time, if you are the Landorus, if you are Junxi, you have to get worried about the amount of... Well, if you're the Landorus, you have to feel reasonably comfortable just hitting the Golden Go. And if you're Kim, you like that damage that you did to that Landorus right there. Definitely gotta like that. Verdraff has gotta feel pretty comfortable right now. It is weak to the Sludge Bomb here from the Landorus Incarnate. You're at -2 for the Landorus on Kim's side. -2 special attack. -4 attack, but that doesn't really matter. The Kim is still slowly making ground here. Slowly making headway. Doesn't have to worry about a surprise Terrassil. Landorus will protect here. Stay on the field this turn. See what happens to the Verdraff. Opposing Landorus will get a substitute up. Took a lot of damage, but oh, the substitute's flying. Oh, that's adorable. Nasty plot as well. Junxi using this as a setup turn. The Psychic going to go into the substitute. Going to break that substitute, most certainly. Indeed it will. And another Psychic... Well, another substitute shouldn't be possible for that Landorus. Another Psychic should be able to finish it off for sure. There is the Enamorus in the back, which should feel pretty comfortable about the matchup against Golden Go. Well, not very comfortable. Potentially, could be getting into a dangerous spot here with this Golden Go getting a nasty plot up. We'll finally see the Landorus switching out. See the Rillaboom coming in. Rillaboom, Miracle Seed variant, Grassy Glide, Wood Hammer, Take Out Protect. Landorus will protect on its own turn, and it will allow Golden Go to do something. Verdraff protects as well, so Golden Go the only one moving this turn. Gonna use a Make It Rain, solo shot onto the Rillaboom. See what kind of damage it gets. That's a one-hit knockout onto the Rillaboom. Big damage. That does now mean, though, that Kim's Landorus can swap back in. Should feel quite a bit more confident at this point. To potentially get off a big hit into that Golden Go. Verdraff hasn't been targeted yet. I don't know if a Sludge Bomb from the Landorus would finish it off. It is a big, big Sludge Bomb with Sheer Force and Life Orb boosting it. But whether it would actually finish it off in exchange for getting knocked down in return is a good question. Junxi taking his time on the decision here. We'll see Landorus Earth Power into the Golden Go. That should be a one-hit knockout. Indeed, it is. Goodbye, Golden Go. And on the other end, the Sludge Bomb. We'll see if this one-hit knockout does not go through. Verdraff gets the Trick Room up in return. Don't think that's the most important Trick Room in the world, because now Incineroar will be fastest, and I think it'll be Incineroar, Giraffe, Junxi's Landorus, and then Kim's Landorus, the way that last turn went. We'll see if that's consistent or if they're speed tied. I don't believe they're speed tied, but we'll be able to see. Both these Pokemon are susceptible to a Fake Out, so solid turn here for Kim to double protect. Junxi on the other end will get a little bit of healing from the grassy terrain that still lingers, only onto the Incineroar, although Giraffe will also get a little bit of that healing. Landorus will protect as well, so it might be an everyone protects except for Incineroar moment. Incineroar doesn't have protect, might have to Fake Out here. Ooh, went for a knockoff. The Landorus. Potentially trying to reduce that life orb damage. Didn't really matter. Double protect. Now a solid opportunity for Kim to get out of this battle. Only 2 Pokemon remaining here. Neither too threatening, and under Trick Room you do have that Enamorus in the back. Attempted a double protect from Junxi, not going to go through. The Hyper Voice will finish off that Landorus, and we'll see what the Incineroar can do here, but I believe that the Landorus will knock it down regardless. Gets a Citrus Berry healing, which might give it an extra turn, potentially. There's the Throat Spray finally coming through for the Giraffe. First time it actually got the Hyper Voice off. There's a knockoff into the Landorus, gets the Life Orb right out of there. Not much damage at all, and the Sludge Bomb, even without the Life Orb, ooh, not going to be enough, barely. Giraffe left to finish it off next turn with 1 more Hyper Voice or a Psychic. I don't know. Take your pick. And Junxi's just going to cancel the battle. Game number 1 going to Kim Gomez. With that Giraffe with a mixed Trick Room and the Landorus Incarnate. Landorus is kind of a... It's the case with a lot of Pokemon, but Landorus is very strange. It does have a very strong glass cannon. What's the word I'm looking for? Identity, basically. It has a very strong glass cannon identity, and it struggles in a lot of matchups, but in a matchup like that, when your opponent is playing very passively, you do have a lot of options. There are a lot of things that outspeed and knock out Landorus, but there are a lot of things that Landorus is able to very cleanly handle, and all those Pokemon there, Incineroar is able to handle it pretty well. Moongus able to handle it pretty well with a little bit of help. Golden Go able to handle it well. Definitely a lot of value there, and maybe an opportunity for Kim to go for the same lead here in game number 2. After all, everything went well in game number 1. No reason to change things up unnecessarily. But we'll see what the decision ends up being between these two. See the lock-ins from Kim. Junxi's still making a decision. Again, we're in top 8 quarterfinals here. Winner moves on to semifinals. I received word that Junxi punched a ticket to the World Championship with that victory, but I haven't done the math myself. I'm not sure. But I'll believe Jesus. That's why I'm reporting it over air. In any case, Junxi still looking to press forward more. Keep winning games here. They're just 10 on the clock. Really running the clock down. Gonna get there. And we'll get underway with game number 2. Kim and Junxi. Kim with a 1-0 lead. Going with the same lead as last time, I believe. Junxi be a switch up? It will. Amoonguss and Urshifu. A little bit more power on this lead here. Same lead. This is a Scarf Urshifu Rapid Strike. It has a Surging Strike, so able to threaten the Landorus almost immediately. There's a nice adaptation for what this team's able to do. Definitely a lot of choices to make here for Kim. For Junxi, it's not a difficult move to just go for the Surging Strikes and potentially a Spore as well on the Amoonguss or something else if you feel more comfortable with that, but a Spore is never a bad choice. And a Rage Powder is not a terrible idea if you're trying to keep heat off of Urshifu, although I don't think you need to right now. I think Urshifu is not terribly threatened at the moment. That Scarf. I'm going to see the Terastal. Junxi is going to send out a Terra. Going to be the Terra Water Urshifu. I believe that'll probably be to try to take down the Farigiraf immediately. We'll see if it gets the job done. Also takes away the weakness to Psychic, the type in the move. Kim will lock in as well with that Terra Fairy Farigiraf. Same Terra both these games, and not necessarily an ideal spot to use it, but still putting it out there. Will be the Surging Strikes. It's going to be against the Landorus, which will absolutely shred that thing. Didn't even need 3 hits. Definitely didn't need the Terastal, I think. And that'll be a 1-hit knockout with 2 hits. You get it. You understand. You get what I mean. Farigiraf with the Psychic into the now neutral Urshifu. Wow, really eats that hit. Takes a special defense drop, but shockingly taken, all things considered. And the Spore coming through onto the Farigiraf, so now it's asleep. Rillaboom will come in. Rillaboom will probably struggle at getting anything done here. Looking like a tough game to get through. For Kim. Urshifu's gonna swap out. Sonora will come in. Take a Grassy Glide or a Fake Out pretty comfortably. Also will drop the Rillaboom's attack, which is a nice extra feature. Amoonguss will swap out as well. The double switch for Junxi will be Golden Go. Now seen all 4 of Junshi's Pokemon. Believe that's not the same 4 as last time. It's the Urshifu, obviously, over Landorus. Other 3 are the same. And we just restore a little bit of HP. Not too much going on this turn. But Golden Go with a nice opportunity here to potentially go for a nasty plot and try to run through this game in the late stages. Incineroar with Fake Out pressure on both these Pokemon. Rillaboom protects. Means it's not doing anything this turn though, and that might mean that the... Ooh, for Make It Rain. That'll knock out the Farigiraf, that's for sure. Yeah, 1-hit knockout, not even a question about that one. Does mean didn't get the nasty plot up first. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world. And it means that Junxi will quickly reveal the 4th Pokemon for Kim. Which, if it does happen to be that Enamorus, it'll be a pretty nice call-out, pretty nice matchup. Might be a decent opportunity to use another Make It Rain. Even at -1, it'll hit Enamorus pretty hard. It is the Enamorus. That's Assault Vest. It does have the absurdly slow. Enamorus Therian is very, very slow. So, under Trick Room, it is heavily preferred. We will see the Make It Rain again, and we will see it a 1-hit knockout the Enamorus with a critical hit. Bit brutal of a crit. Not sure if it would have gotten that done regardless, but certainly would have done a lot to that Enamorus regardless. Wood Hammer onto the Incineroar, not going to do much damage at all. Do a little damage back to it, and I think that means that Junxi is going to win game number 2 here. Indeed, with the Flare Blitz, finishes it off in regulation. 1-1. We head to game number 3 in the quarterfinals. Nice response there by Junxi. Getting rid of the Landorus immediately. Again, Landorus is a weird Pokemon. It answers a lot of top threats badly, but answers a lot of lower tier threats and more passive Pokemon very, very well. In this case, it was mostly matched up against... I mean, in game number 2, it was matched up against Urshifu, and Urshifu absolutely destroys it. Even through a Terrastal, I think it would have gotten the knockout there. This is the second game in a row that it was very early Fairy Terra from the Furgirath, and I didn't fully understand it. I didn't fully understand it in the last game, I didn't fully understand it in this game. I'm not really feeling using the Terra that early when, for example, Terrastalizing the Enamorus later would have been really nice, and the Terra Fairy on the Furgirath all in all didn't do much. Particularly against this team with one poison move, one steel move. I mean, I guess it makes it better against knockoff, but at the end of the day, if you're scared of knockoff more than losing your Enamorus in the late game, I think that there are bigger issues. I don't know. Well, let's see this move forward. 1-1 now in top 8. I believe this is the only game in top 8 still going here as I look over to the rest of the audience. So Junxi taking his time once again, thinking pretty hard about the lead option. And we'll get into this one. All up to this. Winner moves on to semifinals. A loser is out for today. Junxi, a staple of these top cuts. Kim hasn't done a whole lot here just yet, but clearly on the rise, doing a great job today. And we will see. Gonna be a Mungus Urshifu again for Junxi. Did well the first time, will potentially do well again. Kim changes things up. Furgirath, Ogerpon. Both these Pokemon are weak to U-turn from Urshifu, but that does mean that Urshifu is using U-turn and not any other move. It's also an opportunity to Spiky Shield, potentially. But as well as an opportunity, yeah, Follow Me will redirect the Spore attempt. So in general, this will be a nice answer to potential options from Junxi. I think genuinely the worst thing that Junxi could do is something like a close combat Pollen Puff into the Ogerpon, who is Follow Meing. As we see, Ogerpon does Follow Me. Yep, it is the U-turn. Does a lot of damage there to the Ogerpon. Gets Urshifu right out of there. And Golden Go will be the option. And it will be the Pollen Puff. Will this knock out the Ogerpon? It will. That does knock out the Ogerpon with a critical hit. But that could be a silver lining for Kim. We'll see what happens here. It is the Trick Room. Furgirath gets up the Trick Room. But now, that does mean the Enamorus can come in under Trick Room as the slowest thing on the field and really start laying down some damage. It will be a little... it's going to be tough here. Is Enamorus slower than Amoonguss? I believe it is under these conditions. But will it be able to knock out the Amoonguss before it's able to get a Spore down? Ooh, it's got Overcoat. Overcoat, so it's going to be very difficult to match that. Interesting matchups here. It's an Amorous Therian. The difficulty of getting one, you have to go all the way to Hisui to grab it, has made it fairly rare in these tournaments, but yeah, making good use of this. Well, hasn't made much use of an Amorous yet, but now an opportunity to get the most value out of it. There's the Terra Fire, flips its matchup with Golden Go right on its head. Already was likely to do some serious damage, but now even more so. Amoonguss will protect. This might be a double protect situation for Junxi. Try to get as many Trick Room turns stalled as possible. Was going to be the Earth Power into the Golden Go. Interesting choice. I wonder if it was reading something coming in, like the Urshifu, as it would have been... It was lower damage than the Mystical Fire against the Golden Go, but would have been higher damage than the Mystical Fire against an Urshifu switching in, and might have knocked out the Urshifu regardless. Of course, this is boosted by the Brastal. People almost clapping in the background. Really excited for this one, as am I. It's an interesting turn here. I wonder, I feel like it's not a bad turn for Junxi to make some switches here. Try to throw things off kilter. Does leave in the Golden Go, gets hit pretty hard with the Earth Power, but not knocked out. Spore comes through, hits the Farigiraf. It will take its required sleep turn right now. And then we will see Golden Go use something. We'll use the Make It Rain. Does pretty good damage against the Farigiraf, pretty bad damage against the Enamorus, all things considered. Two turns of Trick Room remaining. Junxi can double protect once again this turn to just kind of annoy people. Which will certainly help. Just stalling out the turns of Trick Room will be meaningful. Pollen Puff might be able to finish off. Okay, Golden Go will switch out, so no protect there. It's gonna be Landorus coming in. Earth Power would miss the Landorus, and Landorus will be able to stall out the final turn. Yes, it does. Now Landorus will be able to stall out the final turn of Trick Room with the protect. Pollen Puff comes out, takes down the Farigiraf. Junxi in a great spot now. Going to be trivial now for Junxi to stall out this final turn of Trick Room and really reduce the value of this Enamorus here. Raging Bolt, Safety Goggles with Protect, Thunderclap, Thunderbolt, and Draco Meteor. Mostly electric moves, and that is not a great thing to have against a Landorus, as well as an Amoonguss for that matter. Also has no way to reset its stats after the use of a Draco Meteor at this point. So, wouldn't really be able to come back from a Draco if it decides to go for that. Junxi, I believe we'll go for a double protect here. Indeed, that is what happens, and the double protect will, in fact, stall at the final turn of Trick Room. Going to be a Draco Meteor into the Landorus and a Mystical Fire into the Amoonguss. But now with the Trick Room turned around, we'll see what the choice is. Landorus should be the fastest thing on the field. Should have its choice of which one of these targets to probably knock out. It's going to have really good damage here. Both these Pokemon are very bulky, but Landorus also does a lot of damage. Landorus will swap out. That means Urshifu must be coming back in. Oh no, it's Golden Go coming back in. That's not... Junxi has not lost a single Pokemon yet. Draco Meteor into the Golden Go. Reduces Raging Bolt stats just to finish off the last of the HP there. Golden Go will fall over. Lucas using Pollen Puff into nothing. Wanted to use it on Golden Go, but didn't get to. Liquid Fire comes out. Will this knock out the Amoonguss? No, not enough damage. Barely not enough. Drops a special attack as it's guaranteed to. So it'll drop the power of those Pollen Puffs, but at this point it's going to be difficult for Raging Bolt to get much done. Urshifu is here. It is Choice Scarf, so a Thunderclap will connect with it. The question is how much a Thunderclap does to this Urshifu. And whether an Amoris is going to be able to take whatever happens this turn. On top of that, if an Amoris is not able to take it, then the battle's pretty much over. As this Raging Bolt is pretty unlikely to be able to get through Landorus without a pretty miracle... I don't know, some kind of miracle, I think. I'm gonna see the Terastal. It will be the Urshifu. Going to that Terra Water. It will certainly knock out the Amoris if given the opportunity. The question is, what will the Thunderclap do? About half the HP. Good damage, but not enough damage. Surging Strikes will just destroy an Amoris. Doesn't need 3 hits, it just needs 2. And there it goes. And now Raging Bolt, all on its own at -2 special attack, should be pretty easy for Junxi to finish off. And Amoonguss with the Pollen Puff just to heal up that damage that it took from the Thunderclap anyways. All the way up to full health. And I think that will be it for this battle and for tournament for Kim today. Amoonguss will swap out, get the Regenerator health. Not too important, but Landorus will come in. The Urshifu goes for the Surging Strike. No Thunderclap, but I think this battle is over. Wow, Surging Strike's not doing anything to Raging Bolt, and that guy eats. That guy really eats. And finally, I believe that'll be now I think it'll be it with Landorus able to pick up the knockout with the Earth Power onto the Raging Bolt. See the Surging Strikes to layer in the damage a little bit. Adjust a teensy extra bit here. Doing a lot of damage actually, considering how well Raging Bolt is eating these hits. But that should be it with the Earth Power. Indeed it is. Earth Power, Raging Bolt gets taken down. Junxi with the 2-1 victory, getting through quarterfinals. A great fight by Kim, but not able to get there. And again, I feel like we always, it always does come back to Urshifu. Able to take advantage in game number 2 of Landorus being a little bit too passive and just getting blown up by the Surging Strikes. And in game number 3, taking advantage with that Choice Scarf set that was its adaptation for Ogerpon, getting that U-turn down, finishing off the Ogerpon turn 1. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with top 4 semifinals. Don't go anywhere.